Hello, the game has started. It's me to go first. This looks close to a bingo, but I don't think close enough. BD'd isn't good. So, do I play long or short? I think I play long. Beaded for 26. Well, Gillian's through an L. No other 7 comes to mind, but the J, a good scoring tile. I'll be looking to sort out the duplicate I as well. Just looking in column 6 to see if I can get the J tripled, and I don't think I can. Okay, 25 for opponent. F takes an S and a T. Jar is good. No, not seeing any way of getting value for the J. So, what to do? This is tricky. Parallel plays like this really can be problematic and show why they're such a strong option if you're going second. So I could burn the S. 33 points, that's not terrible. I and N isn't terrible. The second I is poor. I'm not seeing anything massively better than this. Yeah, nothing on to the B, nothing on or through EF. So I am going with this. Pretty good. That's a jolly good pickup. It looks very close to a bingo. This might be one of the I might be one of the few letters which goes with tonia, or which doesn't go with tonia to make a 7. So I may not have a 7 here. I do have retinoid onto the D, and surely opponent's going to be attracted to this J. I don't think I have a bingo through that J, but I do have joint. In joint also available. No, only one N. But quite a few J options to attract opponent, both down from the J and parallel to it, and also this double letter square above the O. So, do I have any options to retinoid, which is going to place an R in the middle of row A? I think the J is the only other single letter floater, plus the B in last place. I would have tenorini through an N. That's unlikely to be available. Now, what about a 9 through EM? Not seeing one. How might that end? Meant, possibly. Or men, but I'm not seeing a bingo. DO. Okay, opponents lost contact or quit. Will they return? And opponent is back. In his absence, I noticed that I would have interior onto an R. Great, opponent is drawn to the J. Retinoid remains available. No new floaters to consider. Do I have a 9 through JO? No, not that I can see. So, retinoid for 61. And not a bad pick. Looks jolly close to a bingo, and I may have one. Certainly plenty of floaters to consider. So, I'm not seeing a 7. R is likely to be taken. What about the T? I have the E-double-T-E ending. I have the ism ending, but that doesn't look promising. I also have I-E-S-T with double E, so semiest with an S. Now, what about the N? That's a double-double lane. Nice play by opponent. Do I have something? This rack plus an N. I have the men ending. Enmities, if an E were an I. No. What about the vowels? How about the I? Doesn't look promising. How about the O? Wow, no, what a shame. This looked so... Well, it looked like it had potential with all of these floaters, but I'm not seeing a bingo. I'm not seeing a 7 or an 8. So can I get value from the M and sort out the E's? Both M-double-E and E-M-E are good. And, well, I don't have to get rid of the M. It's a nice scoring tile. Still wondering if I have anything through this N. And how about something through this N which isn't a bingo, but is a double-double? Wow. I think emetins is just emetin, not emetine. Not seeing anything down from the C. What about a cross from underneath JO? Well, yes, I have team in this spot. 27 points, not bad. ISE goes very well with T and N. And team creates a 7-letter lane, which is also in its favour. And I'm stopping opponents scoring from the C. I could be missing something through this N, but I am going with this. Well, I'm not bingoing with this. G and W go badly together, and W's pretty awful. Quarto takes an S. And I do have one, so I would have swig. 35 points. I don't like burning the S, but if there's enough points to be gained by using it compared to the best move which retains it, then the right thing to do is to play. But is there anywhere good for the W? I've got TWO because EU is good, and the rack leave of siege isn't terrible. And I have a lead, so I don't particularly want to keep these floaters open if I've got a non-bingo rack, and I will after this play because this rack is too difficult to sort out in one. What about a double-double through this N? I've got widgeon and widgeons, but that doesn't quite reach the second double word square. But I do have INGS as an ending. So, oh wow, nice opponent. Nice bingo for opponent. 70 points, I now trail. This is what I was thinking of. 29 points, that's decent. This rack leave goes very well with the N because of ING. I wasn't seeing a double-double. I don't think Weings is good. Let me just check that, since I can. No, it's not. Now, what is available at the bottom? Can I place my W on this double letter square? Well, only by burning the S. I've got Y's in this spot for 33 points. Keeping EGIO, which is just awful. Now, what about this triple letter square? I don't think I'm going to be able to burn the G with the W unless I do something like widgeon, but that's only 20 points. Opponent's gone. So what was 2 scoring? 29, keeping siege. I think 2 is a better play, especially with the ING option. would be better if I could play WOE, but is there anywhere for that which scores anything like this? I don't think so. Let me just return to the swig possibility. 35 points. That's only 6 more than 2. I am going with 2. Wow, so many games you don't have an E, and you think if I had one I'd have a bingo, and in this game I'm just having too many E's on my rack. So I would have 18s through a disconnected T and N. Wow, quick play by opponent. So I do now trail by 20 or 30. I've got a scoring tile which can go by this O in the H. So I could play EH. 28 points, I don't need a bingo to win. And the board is still open. Twiney is good. Y is a floater. This does provide options for a high scoring play in column 11, so I'm not a massive fan of that. I've got the INGS ending, but still no double double. I've got the I for QI. How can I sort this rack out? Well, I'm just not seeing anything better than EH. What about G? 20 points. This rack leaves quite nice. I think it's better than this rack leave plus EG. This isn't a super hot parallel lane, and it will in any event be creating a new lane in column 13. Only 20 points though. What am I missing? What goes in front of Rancing? Nothing that I've got. Nothing goes in front of Winey. I was just thinking I could play Hog, but I've no O. What a tricky rack. I think I prefer the points. I am close enough to opponents. An opponent would need an O to go next to OH, and there are only 2 to come. I am going with this. Wow, fantastic. I draw the first blank, and surely I am bingoing now. I was looking at this Y, thinking I may have Hygiist. Not sure about that, and in any event it doesn't get tripled, so can I do better? Only 22 for opponent. Surely this is my moment. So, yes, I have ego ties in column 11 with the blank as an O. Does ego ties have an anagram? Because that's stopping 1 square short of this double letter square, and it takes a D and an S. Well, it's one possibility, but what about a double-double through NE? Surely, surely, surely there is one. But is there? This rack plus NE, back to 3 E's again. So I'm going to run through the alphabet, 12 minutes on my clock, 35 tiles in the bag. This rack plus NE. How would it end? Well, it could end NEST. Do I? Well, no, I'm looking at IEST endings because I've got an I. It could go 3 squares to the right, so IEST words are not available. Before I look at that, do I have a play in column 12 beginning with S? Not seeing one. Okay, let me come back to this row E spot. This rack plus NE. close to genetics, but no front extension I can see. This rack plus NE. And it could just end right here with a D or an S. I'm not feeling particularly optimistic about this. I'm just struggling to form words with NE because no natural suffixes come to mind. But it's good to have ego ties in my back pocket. That's 18s, but doesn't quite work. "10 minutes on my clock. This rack plus NE. I thought I had glistened. Do I have glistened? No, I don't, because the blank would be an L and a D. This rack plus NE. Well, so this could end NER. "9 minutes on my clock. No, I think I'm going to play ego ties. Am I? I think I've spent enough time on this play. Ouch, there's a Z to come. No, I'm not going with this. I'm going with Goatees. Well, there is a double-double. Good grief. And this would be even better than the NE one. Goatees for 91. The Z spot's still available, but this is 91 points. Bang! And I draw the Z. Unbelievable. I've got ZO in column 10. Will that stay available? So from trailing, I'm now 70 points in front. What if ZE is blocked? Are there any other hot Z spots? What about column 4? Anything beginning ZA? No. Anything beginning TZ? No. Oh, wow. Oh, phew. Only 22 points for opponent. But he has taken my Z spot, which is irksome. So, and I've spent a fair bit of time, only 8 minutes left, 22 tiles in the bag, nothing coming from the D, whether or not using the blank, the Z rather. What about playing bulk? BAULK. Turns over tiles, turns over 4 or out of the remaining 22 tiles. Scores well, retains the Z for score. I'm not looking to bingo. I'm not creating any new bingo lanes because a bingo through the L would have to use the I as well. And I'm taking out this double letter square. Yeah, I am. Is this the play? Is there really no hot Z spots? Zapu, not good, it's Zupa. This is just the moment where it would be annoying to play suboptimally if there is something super hot available. So I have pause on my rack, that doesn't play anywhere. No, I'm just not seeing anything better than this bulk for 28. Well, I draw a vowel, which is good. As you approach the end game, vowels increase in value, and certainly burning the high-scoring tiles, they do benefit from vowels. Let me count the remaining vowels. Great, opponent's taken that Y spot for a humble score. Fantastic. 11 out of 22 tiles are vowels, so it's a balanced bag. Now, I have a Fez spot, 2 S's and a blank to come. If I play Fez, I'm setting up a 7-letter S lane. Oh, and look at this, I've got dozen, but not quite enough to reach the triple word square. But if I had an I would have dozing. Wow. Nothing beating TZ, 6 minutes on my clock, that's not very much. Let me see what Fez scores. Can I outrun a bingo? That's 39 points, that's a lot. That would take me to 362. A 94-point lead, or 98-point lead. But this S lane is going to remain available. Pong is a decent rack leave. If I draw an I, I've got ing as an ending, which may slot in somewhere. Ah, and look at this. If opponent does have a bingo ending in S, it's not going to get doubled. Fantastic. And it'll burn 7 tiles. But is this the play? 5 minutes on my clock. I don't want to spend too long on this. But is there somewhere elsewhere which doesn't set up a lane? At the moment, there's just no lanes on the right-hand side of the board. What about playing Pongy? I think that's too defensive. What about playing Pong? Then I've got Fez for next turn in column 12. And I've also got ZE, bottom left. So I'm guaranteed a play of over 30 points next turn. I think this is a better play. I think so. And if opponent opens the board, I may be able to shut it down or score even better with the Z. And I am taking out this Y. And if you look at the remaining tiles, they're quite bingo-y. There could be a bingo ending in Y. Still one Y to come, and I am setting up a hot Pongy NY spot, but I will live with that. And I draw the Y. Fantastic. So I've got a hot Z spot and I've got a hot Y spot. Is that going to be enough to get me over the line? 35 points for opponent. So I don't have anything which hits this triple word square. How many tiles in the bag? 7. So why don't I just play... Do I play the E as well? Yeah, I think so, because although vowels are good, I have 2 on my rack, and playing an extra tile expedites the end of the game and scores 1 more point. This is 33 points. It doesn't open up any lanes. 3 minutes on my clock. And this is a nice rack leave to keep. Yeah, and although I'm not getting 39 points from Fez, I'm getting a similar score. I'm not going to get stuck with the Z. It's too flexible a tile. I've got Soz at the top and Quartos, for example. If I draw an N, I've got dozens bottom right. I am going with this. Okay. Well, I don't draw an N. Opponent may play from the D in order to create some floaters, but a floater in last place, not great, not as flexible as one in the middle of the board. So opponent could play across from the T. Wow, my lead, only 78 points. So I need to be careful. I'm definitely not over the line. There's still a blank to come. And the opponent has not created a bingo lane. Fantastic. So I can't create one either, because then opponent could bingo out and win. 3 tiles left. So I don't want to play Soz at this point. 3 minutes on my clock. I could play FE. 21 points, leaving 1 in the bag. Just wondering if Diatzos is good. Let me check this. I think it is good. That doesn't mean I should play it. Yeah, it is good. 2 minutes on my clock. Let me see what it scores. only 51, but that's going to take me to 430, 120 point lead. So what if I draw V and X? 30 point comeback, opponent could win. Yeah, that's not the play. Alas. There are no bingo lanes on this board. Well, there is though, isn't there? There's column 12 at the bottom, overlapping TI, RE and US. 1 minute on my clock. I still feel that FE is best. I'm retaining the option of SOS at the top. Wow. Well, ZE is good, and that doesn't. So what about this? ZEA. ZEA takes nothing. Res takes nothing after it, so I'm not creating a lane. I'm taking out this column 12 lane. I'm creating nothing. I am emptying the bag, but if opponent's not going to bingo, that's not dangerous. He's just got the opportunity of planning an out in 2. 39 points is decent, and I think opponent will need a bingo to win. So I think this is the play. And I draw the blank and the S's. Opponent is not going to bingo with what he's got. So I think this game is now in the bag. However much one shouldn't celebrate before the final whistle. So 13 minutes on opponent's clock, 57 seconds on mine. I have taxis with the blank as an A. I'm not going to have much time to plan the next move. I have doxies in row O with the blank as an E. That's going to score the most. Opponent may take that. I don't think I have a bingo with this rack. With the blank as an S and 2 S's, theoretically column 12 is a bingo lane, but I don't have one. Now I need to keep an eye on the clock so that I notice when opponent plays. XI is good, but I can't get that to play twice. Opponent's got the L for zeal, but if he plays in row M, then doxies remains available. Is there anywhere to play the F with the X? Okay, opponent blocks doxies. I've still got taxis. He's got litu left. Has he got an out somewhere? Well, quite possibly, but I'm going to play my X for 33. I don't think litu takes an S. But sloot is good, so I am giving opponent an out, which he may not otherwise have had. Ava takes an L and an S, so that was a nice play by opponent. Blocking my bingo. I could have played XI and X. Great, opponent hasn't gone out. I haven't thought about my next play. Well, I have soft. Do I have anything else? No 3-letter plays with this rack. So, whoops, let me get the arrow facing the right way. Soft for 8. And the final score, 346 for opponent, 461 for me, a winning margin of 115 points, so a huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. That was super close right to the end. Now, it was me to go first. Phew, no missed bingo here. And I played beaded, abided better because E is better than I. Now, opponent's rack plays from. Missed a double through the E of 4 guts. Now, I burn my J with Joel's. Gin's looks better in that it splits up the duplicate I, but it takes a D in front, so Gin's would have allowed opponent to hook that with a D. C Joe, J8. Yeah. Well, I think all of these plays are reasonable. Now, opponent's rack plays cop, and I have retinoid, and it's the only bingo. Quarto for opponent. Now, what did I miss? Oh, Emetin does take an E. Oh, why didn't I check that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Emmetines through the N. Missed bingo. Ouch, ouch, ouch. I don't like to abuse the free challenge rule, but I was sufficiently confident that this was not a valid word. I knew Emetin, but I thought it only took an S, not an E. So I play team instead, which amongst the non-bingos is pretty good, but Emmetine's a massive miss. Now, opponent bingos to take the lead. This was a tricky rack. Owies, K8. Oh, through the I. Yep, that's nice. 36 points. I play 2 for 29. I prefer my play. I like keeping the S, and the extra score for Owies isn't enough to justify burning it. Opponent plays Whiny for 42, but N2, wow, could have played Windy because of NY for over 60 points. Now, having missed that bingo, I have several tricky racks. Oh, wow. Double through the N. Having identified double non-bingos as being worthy of attention, I now miss one as well as missing a bingo double. But Sheeny was there. Instead I play E8, which was the second choice play, and is actually not far behind because it retains the S. Opponent's rack, and it's his turn to miss, or her turn to miss a double. Plays Valley, and I draw the blank, which is great because I have Goatees for 91, and that's the only double. Opponent plays Trudged, and now 22 tiles to come, and the whole of the right of the board is the whole board is unfriendly for bingos. I have a slender lead, about 50 points, and it's all about scoring so that opponent can't catch me without a bingo and not creating a bingo lane. Now, this res spot was available, so N1, oh wow, Zauk available, bottom left, but then that's placing a Z above a triple word score, which isn't good. But I could have played Zauk and res, which doesn't create the bingo danger, so that would have been, yeah, so Zauk in column 12 would have been my preference, although I'm not seeing it on this list. Bulk in second place does have merit because the Z has got a lot of scoring potential. Wow, opponent is close to a bingo. All bingo-y tiles, plays Air. Zep J12, yeah, that's in the res spot, and this is where I play Pong, because this is creating a second hot Z spot. So I knew I was guaranteed to score well, so this was a play for strategic reasons. But I think if I'd spotted res, then, yeah, because I think I was contemplating Fez. But if I'd spotted res, then because that doesn't take an S, I think that would have been the play. Now opponent has Luthia, nowhere for it. Plays higher. And I play Nye for 33, which is on this list again, retaining the Z for score. So probably quite a few good moves without any standouts. Opponent no scoring tiles, pretty much does need a bingo now, on a board with no lanes, and chooses not to open a lane. Now this is where I saw Diatzos, but it empties the bag, and opponent could bingo out to win. So I didn't do that. I did Zia instead, which isn't quite on this list, although Zia's is. Opponent plays Arva. Now, O12. Oh, wow. Arval is good, so I could have played Flicks for 57. Instead, partly influenced by the time, I go with Taxis for 33. Opponent does have an out, Sloot and Tulsi through this S. Doesn't play either, plays Lit. And finally, Soft for 8 was best. So, what a game. Absolutely rip-roaring stuff. Always great to come out in front, especially with a margin of over 100 points. Board got super tight. Opponent needed a bingo but didn't open the board, and I was able to avoid opening it myself and keep scoring to run out the winner. So super exciting stuff. Now, I've been running some bonus videos on Sunday nights to celebrate or mark the occasion of 2,000 subscribers, so I hope you've been enjoying those videos. There's been a couple of Scrabble ones with matches against Hastybot and a Blitz game on ISC, and a couple of crossword ones with the Mephisto crossword, which is harder than the Times, and the Quick Cryptic, which is easier. So I hope you enjoyed that variety of additional bonus videos. And I should just say that all of those videos are published each month on Patreon. So if you're interested in seeing more of those sorts of videos, do consider being a Patreon. The link is below every video, and you'll be helping to support the channel as well, for which I am very grateful. So back to this game. Many thanks to opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.